mean, it's holding back.
You don't even want to know what kind of conversation is going on right now. Welcome back to The Five. We are turning now to 2012 news. And last night, Republican presidential candidate Rick Perry had dinner with none other than Donald Trump. They seemed pretty chummy. You see him there. And Trump says he is impressed by Perry and that Perry is very ready to be president. Andrew, what is the deal? It's like all of these Republican candidates feel like they have to go and kiss the ring of Donald Trump. And I like Trump, but it's sort of a weird dynamic. It's almost like he's the Pope or something. They have to genuflect. They're there in the velvet. What's going on here?
Well, I think that he earned a lot of credibility when he came out and he took on the president. And a lot of people liked the way he was doing it. He wasn't using canned lines. And now he's become a kingmaker of sorts. And I kind of like it. Even though he still says he might get in the race, I don't buy it. But he does, I think, carry tremendous sway with independents and people who aren't mired to any political party.
Well, be careful. He'll call you.
I know they've already done that. But his spokesman said, everybody wants Donald Trump's endorsement because it brings so many votes. Get a life, man. Get out of the law business. That ain't the truth. No, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump couldn't make more president.
What I will say is get on TV and bash whoever.
Well, and you know what? It was great publicity for both of them. But I will say, Eric, that he took Perry to a better restaurant than he took Sarah Palin.
He did. He went to
Can we get off this guy? He's a waste of time.
For 1 second. It may also be that the guy's perceived as someone who can create jobs. He has very successful businesses that hire a lot of construction workers. So you want Donald Trump to endorse you? Why not?
You got anything on Trump?
No.
Please, thank
All right,
God.
good. We're moving
I'm doing Bob a favor.
We're moving on, but we're still on the subject of the Texas governor, Rick Perry. So he spoke yesterday about his Christian faith, and everybody knows that he is a devout Christian. He is a believer. Here he is.
America is going to be guided by some set of values. The question is going to be whose values. And David Lane and I would suggest most of the people in this audience believe it's those Christian values that this country was based upon. Don't fear the judgment of others or the uncertainty of the future. Don't muzzle your voice because you're young. Paul wrote to Timothy and he said, "Do not be ashamed of your youth. You have the right, like every American, to speak your mind."
Can I just say one thing?
He was speaking there, hold on, he was speaking there at Liberty University to the kids, and the speech wasn't just about his faith. It was also about American values and trying to get kids motivated in politics.
I would say I stood on that very same podium 2 months ago, believe it or not, at Liberty University. Wonderful place, and nice people. There were 13,000 kids there. They have to be there for these things. I think Perry, there was probably exactly the right message for that crowd, and it does have some political swat.
Yeah,
I mean, Jerry Falwell, I used to protest in front of that joint, but I'll tell you, they do have the Christian right, and conservative Christian movement does have support.
Here's the thing. I mean, when the left or when the media covers someone who's religious on the left, it's always refreshing. You know, oh, look at this. Isn't this nice? If it's somebody on the right, they're stupid and they're anti-science. And I always feel like the media has a real problem with Republicans or conservatives or religious because they see religion as competition against their own jobs. Because if you have a higher power,
their own ideals.
The higher power to them is the New York Times.
Right.
But isn't it refreshing to have a would-be presidential candidate get up there and not listen to his campaign manager who probably said, don't go there, and he went there, and it came off well, and he said, look, I was
put the target on him,
and I had to turn somewhere. I turned to religion.
Andrew, let me ask you that. Everybody now knows that Rick Perry is a devout Christian and that he's a true believer. Should he now, at this point, lay off the religious topics, lay off speeches like this, and focus on his economic success story in Texas, the job creation and no state income tax, and the things that have brought businesses there?
I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think if this is who Rick Perry is, he has to be himself. Candidates who don't know who they are or are afraid to say it, like a lot of people accuse Mitt Romney, people don't like that. That's assuming that the public is stupid. People want to see what these candidates really believe. And, you know, Democrats, what's worse is when they cherry-pick religion and go into churches and pulpits selectively to try and fake religion.
Look, he's doing one thing here and it's smart, and that is the only competition for the Christian vote is Bachmann. He's betting Bachmann's not going to be there, and he knows that the Christian vote is not going to go with Mitt Romney because of his own religious thing, which there is some tension between the Mormons and the Christians. I think he's planning to solidify his base, and then he'll move more to the center. Can we talk a little bit about the vice presidency, though?
Yes, because Mitt Romney is talking about, or he made a comment the other day about that if he is the nominee, that he may choose somebody with Tea Party cred as his vice president. He also, by the way, praised Dick Cheney, and he said this is a man of great judgment and wisdom, and I say amen to that. But obviously, Mitt Romney, who's more of an establishment guy, doesn't have the Tea Party cred, would have to choose, I think in this environment, would have to choose somebody with Tea Party cred, like a Marco Rubio.
Yeah, there is no competition for the vice presidency. If Marco Rubio is not the vice presidential candidate, I'll eat his shoe.
You won't have to.
I don't care who it is.
Because I agree with you, Bob.
Rubio is everybody else who's thinking about being vice president, think about it for another time. It makes sense all the way around.
I'll do you one better. If Marco Rubio endorsed one over the other, they would win the GOP.
Well, that's going a little bit far. Maybe Florida.
Well, he can't really do it. But if he did, we want to talk about that. Would be a.
I don't know if it's going to be Rubio, but either way, you're not going to eat my shoes, Bob.
There's too many of them.
God knows he's trying.
I mean, I couldn't. I'd have to be eating for 50 years to get through your shoes. And by the way, there is going to be Rubio. Please trust me. And it's going to be one of those two candidates, Perry or Romney, and
that
Rubio.
makes you nervous.
Well,
it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it keeps me up at night. Perry's got me up
Rubio
way
is young,
late
handsome, Tea Party, plus establishment, acceptability, and Florida and Latino. He covers all the bases.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot more to come on the 5. Stick around. What are you doing?
Red clay country mud, sipping on a cold bud, blue tick coon hound. You know